What is up, guys? Welcome back to Viewer Castles. So this is the first post update with barricades Viewer Castles that I'll be doing. I'm not sure how many people already updated their castles. I know Spadestitz did because he emailed me and let me know in the email that he had updated his. But the other two people that we'll be doing today, I'm not sure if they have theirs updated yet. So we'll have to see going forward. But I wanted to get out a Viewer Castle episode, and then tomorrow I will be going over the defense that I had built so far. So if anyone hasn't attacked me and wants to attack me, definitely do it before the video comes out, because afterwards, you know, it's going to just be out to everybody. So hopefully you guys can get in and attack my castle. Maybe your replay will be in the video, maybe it won't, depending on when I record it. But hopefully you guys can do that, and I'll get a few more replays to go over. Anyway, let's jump into it. Spadestitz, castle level 26. Unfortunately, the stats don't tell you when the castle was validated anymore, so I won't know if other people have updated it until I see if there's barricades or not. So far, a couple of the castles that I have attacked with barricades have been quite a bit more difficult. I really like what the barricades did for the game. It's good. I think that there's still a few things that need to be addressed. I think, like, I really want an update or like a buff to the hunger bot. I think that would be a huge thing for the game right now. It's such a good support unit, but it's just not good enough right now. Like, the idea behind the unit is great, and it used to be so good, but the hook speed is just way too slow, and it's hard to make use of it in a lot of circumstances, especially with stun immunity and all that. It doesn't pull you all that far and stuff like that. But I think that's going to be a really good update if they ever go through and like work on him, because it seems like they're working on every unit. You know, they're going over them, like they updated the bad dog and mittens that aren't useful and stuff like that. Hopefully they hit that hunger bot in the next couple updates. Alright, so let's continue on in this castle. So far there hasn't really been all that much. A couple mouse wheels just going around and getting the mines for the most part. This castle is 4 levels under me, so just keep that in mind. It still probably has the ability to kill me though if I get into a really bad spot. Do I actually have... yeah, I do have my health gear on. I did have my DPS gear on to try to run my castle a little bit quicker. And validate it, but I think I switched them back, so that's good. Alright, so there's our first set of mobs up there that I can see them from here. I'm going to try to pull them probably. I do want to see like what's actually happening inside of the room, so I might just let it hit me and see what happens. I think that's actually going to be a better way to approach this. If I'm attacking this and trying to get through it without dying, I would get hit by the mouse wheels, get some stun immunity built up, and then volley them and then kite them backwards. But instead I actually want to see what's going on inside of the room, so let's take a look. What I'm going to do is just to see what happens if I build up some stun immunity beforehand, because there's a lot of ways to do that here. So that actually screws up your setup a little bit, is if you get hit by these mouse wheels or the first springboard trap, you're going to build up some stun immunity, which is going to kind of screw your setup up a little bit and make it so that it doesn't at least go off probably the way you want it to. But I can see kind of what you're going for. I have something somewhat similar in my castle, but it's not quite the same. But I do understand what you're going for. Basically what happens here is, you know, he wants to fling you in, get you stuck inside of, it looks like mostly corrosive mines, and then have the archer bear traps kind of stop you from either retreating or going forward. And he's got some barricades around as well, which makes it a little difficult to maneuver and move around and stuff like that. Obviously the weakness to this is kiting it back and going about it that way. I'm actually confused. Am I in the boss room right now? It looks wide enough to be the boss room, but I can't even tell, because it's definitely a different setup, and it's also the theme that I've seen the least of. I think this is the boss room though, I'm pretty sure. This room's gotta be the boss room, it's too big to not be. Yeah, there's Snottingham right there. Alright, so I'm not actually sure. I don't think you can put barricades in the boss room, but I'm not really sure about that. So it's a pretty heavy boss room strategy. You know, for the most part it's just an anti-kiting room, and then that one setup that you had was good. But other than that, it's mostly just a boss room thing. I have a boss room in my castle as well, along with 3 other groups. It is actually kind of hard to build castles at the lower levels, like 26, and not, if you're going to put a boss room in, you want to have enough units where it's useful. So it's hard to have enough defense points to actually put in like an anti-kiting room and then a boss room with enough units and like trap it fully, and also have enough points left over to put anything else in your castle. The only thing that I would say about this boss room is like mouse wheels are good and all, but they take up a lot more points than spike traps. So when you're doing this, you're actually having a lot less units in your castle and a lot less traps in your castle, simply because you have all of these mouse wheels all over the place that the attackers aren't always going to really even be hitting. Like, I'm going to spend most of my time fighting in these wide open areas towards the back and right in here. I'm not going to spend much time towards the outskirts, so that's why a lot of people use spike traps on the outside instead of mouse wheels, because they're 2 points, they cover more area. You know, you could have 3 spike traps that are this big or 2 mouse wheels. So it's a lot more like trap coverage when you use spike traps like that, and you can get a lot more out of like the point cost that you're putting into it. But yeah, let's jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up, Red Wolf 96. I don't think I've ever attacked his castle before. His name doesn't sound all that familiar. Castle level's at 27. This is his archer that he validated it with. So let's jump into this, see if he's updated it with barricades or not. There's no real way for me to figure that out. I can tell that he's got only 8 mines, so he doesn't have any bling mines. So, I mean, that was one thing that was kind of recent, but it doesn't mean anything because you could just not have the blings to invest in them. I'm not actually sure. I should probably double check. I heard somewhere that bling mines give 5 seconds, but if they do, it's kind of bad for defenders that actually bought them. But I really haven't checked in any replays. Okay, so there are barricades here, so that's good. That means that the castle has been updated. I'm just not sure if it's been, like, you know, fully flushed out of, like, you know, kinks and stuff like that, if everything's working properly. I know sometimes it takes a very long time to do. Like, even still, when I built my castle this time around, I actually spent quite a bit of time building it, and that's why I didn't do a castle rebuilding video, because it would have been a lot of time of me testing things. I think every one of my my setups I tested over 20 times, and then one of my setups I tested over 50 times, just trying to get it right. And I got them kind of working right, but I even noticed in replays when people don't do exactly what I think they're going to do, it just completely screws with the setup, and I have to go back in and, you know, switch things up. I probably won't do that until after the video, and I might just rebuild the castle all the way completely. It's working okay, though. I mean, it's about a 50% win rate castle as of right now, which is about standard. So, I mean, it's nothing crazy special, but the setups are cool. The setups are pretty fun. It's definitely not standard stuff, I wouldn't say, that I'm using right now. Alright, so we have this room. I've always said about this room, if you can kite it, you know, like, this room itself is probably the most deadly room. When you see this room, you should be very scared of archers with bear traps. So far, I see a derp and I see a dampener. I don't know what else is going on. I kind of want to test out to see what he has going on, so I'm just going to kind of build up some stun immunity, because that's the thing about mouse wheels, is that you have to realize that people are going to build up stun immunity, and it's going to make whatever setup you have a lot harder to use, because the springboards aren't going to stun them for nearly as long. It's the reason why I have a room like this, and I used a spike trap instead of a mouse wheel trap to lead into it, because I didn't want that extra stun immunity there. Like, sure, they might be able to get across them a little bit easier. Maybe it's not quite as good, but it does the job. Alright, so it was a derp room. I actually tried doing one of these, and I used it with a bad dog and a Defendatron, and I think I was trying Puppeteer as well. It also seemed to have linked to these two guys, because they're both aggroed. I'm not sure if I aggroed them at some other point, but I don't know how that would have linked all together. I'm not sure why these guys are aggroed right now, but they are. But they're blocked by barricades up there, so they can't get out. Anyway, as I was saying, I did a room like this similar. I didn't use this room specifically, but it wasn't really working out for me, and I didn't have enough points to keep it in my castle, but I was testing one when I was building my castle this time around, and it wasn't terrible. It was doing some damage. Bad dogs do make derps pretty decent, and if you can confine the area with barricades, it works out pretty good. So these Defendatrons are pretty cool for setting things up. They impede movement quite a bit. I would love to kill them and not let them run away. There we go. Alright. And then there's a bunch of them over here as well. So you can't actually volley over barricades. And it looks like, for some reason, it's stopping. That might be a bug. It stopped my volley, even though the barricade was destroyed. This is the first time that I've realized that this is a thing. I'm not sure. I think I must have came in here with low amount of potions. I don't think I've used 3 already, but maybe. So let's just blow a hole in that, and then they'll start to try to come across. But yeah, that's going to probably be an issue trying to get through this castle. I may skip this mouse wheel room. The only thing that I'll be skipping is some mines. I actually tend to skip mouse wheel rooms that have creatures on the sides of them if I can get away with not aggroing it. I've been doing that pretty frequently now. And I think it makes the mouse wheel rooms just a lot worse in general. You spend a lot less time in there getting hit by the traps, and you also skip at least like 40 points in creatures. So it's pretty big. And you only lose 1 star by doing it, which I think is worth it. Unless you really want to get the crowns, like if it's maybe someone who has 40 crowns, like you'll get 40 crowns from them, and you can somehow manage to get all of those, you know, it might be worth it for you. Me, I can't keep crowns because so many people attack me. It's really difficult. And I also don't attack as much. It's easier to get crowns attacking than it is to be defending. That actually might change if you get a really good defense with these barricades, though. Alright, so that's the castle. Pretty good. But definitely some more things that you can be doing with barricades. I really am still looking for those like genius strategies. I actually attacked... oh god, I don't remember who it was. It was one of my viewers, I think. I attacked him, and his castle was really good. At least what I saw of it. I don't know. It was really late when I attacked him, but I might go through and attack it at some point. Or you can just submit for viewer castles. It was like, I think it's too shy to chat or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, let's jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, and lastly we have Herpaderpderp, castle levels 28. He's got this archer that he validated with. Let's see what he's got in here. Okay. So,
let's go to work.
Let's see if he's got any barricades in yet. The thing that I was having trouble with is that barricades are so expensive in terms of gold that it's actually pretty difficult to get enough of them unless you want to spend blings. Like I spent blings on a couple barricades just because I didn't want to keep farming for the gold that you need to actually fill your rooms with them. And I still could have had some places where I put barricades that I didn't just because I didn't have enough gold to buy them. Okay, so I'm going to take some ticks of spike trap damage because I'm not timing this out properly. It's fine, whatever. So far it's a standard spike room. You know, a lot of these places I would put barricades like at the end of these just so that they take a little bit more damage if they're standing on them. I'm guessing this castle probably wasn't updated. It doesn't feel like it's been like it was updated.
What was that doing again?
Alright, so this is a mouse wheel room. The creatures are so far back that it's one of those mouse wheel rooms that you can skip the creatures in it and not have to deal with 20 defense points on this side and 20 defense points on the other. And all you really get out of it... I forgot to buy potions, by the way, so I'm going to end up dying in this castle. The only thing that you get out of it is you lose 1 star, which isn't that big of a deal. No health globes dropped either right there. Kinda sucks for me. None from the dampener either. So I'm not sure how I can get away with not dying in this castle. I'm pretty sure I'm screwed.
I just need to catch my breath.
Yeah, I'm gonna die. That's fine. I'll just heal back up and get through it now. I have to remember to buy potions as soon as I get out of this castle, or else I'll log back in the next day and won't remember that I don't have potions. I remember I was low on potions because I had to spend so much gold buying barricades when I was building my castle. Alright, and then we have the boss room after this, which I'm just gonna go to the back of it. I like when people put so many traps at the back of their boss room, because if you make one mistake, you take a lot of damage for it. You know, it's really only this zone right here that you can fight in with taking 0 trap damage whatsoever. I might actually die again. because I am not getting any health globes to drop through this castle. There's one.
That's much better. I can't take much more of this.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna die. Unless I can get another health globe to drop. There is one by Snottingham. I don't know, it's gonna be pretty close. I might be able to make it through this. I think it's only this one Smelly Warrior left. Yeah, alright, that's it.
No.
Alright, so I made it through. Obviously not an updated castle, it didn't have any barricades, so if you're planning on updating your castle, you can just email me again once it's done and I'll go through it again. I just didn't have anybody who I knew was updated at this point. So yeah, we're still looking for some really ingenious ideas using barricades. I have some decent ones. I've seen a few when I was just attacking random people that are pretty good as well. I think barricades can really add some depth to actually castle building right now. You could definitely see the meta change from this for sure. I think some of my ideas could be improved upon as well, maybe used in different rooms or something like that. You know, I probably tunnel visioned on what I wanted to do a little bit too much, and was when I was going for it. And I think there's certain ways that we could probably make them at least a little bit better. But yeah, for sure, if anyone hasn't attacked my castle and is planning on it, you know, it's a level 30 castle. Go through it, try to get through without dying. There's some interesting setups going on. I'm still waiting for a couple of them to be working exactly how I wanted them to work. You know, I set them up the way I thought people would react, and people aren't reacting exactly that way. I have about, you know, 20 or so replays, and it's about 50% across the board. I think I'm like one above 50% if I add in every like 28 plus level attacker. So it's doing okay. That's pretty much it. If you have castles that have been updated, feel free to email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com, and I will do your castle in the next video. If not, I'll probably just continue down the list, and if people don't have their castles updated, or you know, if you don't want me to attack your castle right now because it's not, if it's on the list and you don't want me to attack it because you're updating it currently, you can shoot me an email and let me know that as well, so that I don't run your castle before it's been finished. But yeah, level 20 and above castles, email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. I'll do your castle whenever I have time, and that is pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.